Born in Wilson County, Tennessee, growing up in Lebanon, Tennessee. C Wharton. Mayor, they are ready for you. When all I have to do is say your name. C Wharton. C Wharton said, "Yes, I can," before all of us said, "Yes, we can." C Wharton was the first professor of law, African-American professor of law at the Ole Miss. C Wharton was the first African mayor of Shelby County. He got elected with 62% of the vote. Ladies and gentlemen, that's one heck of an election. And what did he do with that 62%? The next time he ran, Bill Freeman, he got 77% of the vote. I don't know any bishop, any pope, anybody else that could get 77% of the people in Shelby County to agree about anything. All respect intended to all my Shelby County friends, but they agree on C Wharton has been doing a great job for the city now as he did for the county then. He is the mayor of Memphis. He's been the mayor of Shelby County. He's been the public defender. He is a man who has unparalleled talent and ability, and most especially, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that he, like so many of these, outmarried himself. Miss Ruby, we are glad that you are here tonight and glad you made him the man he is today. Welcome the mayor of Memphis, C Wharton.
Good evening. Good evening. While you're on your feet, give it up for our great state chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for bringing so much life back to us. He deserves it. Look at this crowd. Sit down. I wish you could be up here and see yourselves out there. You look so beautiful this evening. If we were back in Memphis, Tennessee, where we play the blues and sing the blues, but we're not down by the blues, you would say something like this. Johnny Taylor says, "I've seen the Golden Gates of San Francisco. I've seen the lights of Broadway too. But in this whole wide world, there ain't nothing quite as beautiful as you." This is what it's all about. You look great. You look like America. You look like Tennessee. This is what it's all about. Mayor Dean, thank you for having us here. Senator, thanks again for visiting with us. We really appreciate your traveling all over the country, in season and out of season. You've been down in Memphis. Give it up again for our great Governor Kane. Thank you so much for being here with us. I know it's going to be a long program. Let me just get right to it. Our chairman is right when he said that when you see us looking like we're down, it just means that we're backing up, getting ready to give it another run. It reminds me of what happened to me when I was growing up in Lebanon. My daddy always said that if you see an animal in trouble or something somewhere, go and help the animal. And I was walking home one day, and my elementary school principal, Professor Ballard, he couldn't drink cow's milk, so he raised goats. And as I was going along one day, one of the old billy goats, in Wilson County, see, everything is rock. It's hard to find a piece of grass anywhere, nothing but limestone up there. And this old goat had eaten everything inside the fence, so he stuck his head out through the wire, which is easy to do because his horns went back that way. But guess what? Once he got there, he was hooked. So I remember what my daddy said. He said, if you see an animal in trouble, go help the animal. So I go up and I commenced to trying to help the old billy goat out. And he was pushing and pointing. So finally I said, I got him. He's giving up now. He was backing up. I said, he's giving up. I've got him now. He was getting ready, all right. About the time that I got really close to help him is when he let it all out. And, of course, I was standing about this tall, so you imagine where his head was. And you can imagine where he hit me. Ruby tells me I've got a bunch of boys at home, but after what that billy goat did to me, I don't know whether that's the case or not. He hit me in the right place. So let me tell you, I know how it feels when somebody backs up like a billy goat and comes at you. And that's what we're getting ready to do in the state of Tennessee. Y'all just remember that old billy goat. He ain't backing up, he's just getting ready, Mr. Chairman. He wasn't backing up at all. That's what it's all about. We've got a great state. We've got a state that's full of great people, and that's what it's all about. You've heard the little poem that the kids say. It's not about your buildings or your boulevards or your parks. The kids always say, there's the church, there's the steeple, open the door and see the people. And that's what we're all about. Not about the buildings, not about the trucks or the buses or the parks, but it's just all about the people. The same thing that the people in Knoxville see, the same thing in Lebanon or wherever it may be. Cowan, Tennessee. I met somebody from Cowan, Tennessee. I've never been there before, but I guess there is a Cowan, Tennessee. It's what I call the old front porch view of life. Those things, when you sit on the front porch, what crosses your mind? The same thing that a grandmother thinks about in Memphis when she's thinking about Dean, safety. Will I be able to go to church tomorrow morning? When I come back, will there be anything here? The people who are looking for jobs, who hear that great things are coming, but they need a job now. They need a job now. For the parents who are wondering, will I be able to give my children the same education that I got way back in the day of the one-room schools? Did you ever think that there would come a time in which we in this great nation would wonder if 3 and 4 generations away from one-room schools would be able to get what our parents got 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 years ago? Did you ever think that we would come to that? But that's the front porch worry that we have citizens all across this state. It goes back to the time when President Roosevelt said we need a second Bill of Rights. And Chip, you heard me give this talk down in Jackson one day as the war was ending, and hopefully the wars are ending in our great nation. What do we do? How do we retool? What do we do? When the president called us to a second Bill of Rights, and we could come back and we could use it right today because it was very simple. This was way, way back in 44. And he said, everybody needs some health care. That wasn't right now, just health care. If you get sick, somebody's going to take it. That every farmer ought to be paid a fair price for his crop. Every laborer ought to be paid a fair wage for her labors. Just the basic things. That was 69 years ago. Still hasn't changed. Just those basics. If we stay with the basics, that's what folks want to hear. This is why they want somebody to stand up. It wasn't by accident that the folks in Davidson County took a former public defender, or in Shelby County took a former public defender. Now, let's just think about this. They're lawyers. They're the criminal defense lawyers, and a lot of people don't like that, but they'll tolerate it. But then there are those lawyers who are paid by you to defend the guy who broke in your house last night. And that's kind of chilling some of you. So the question is, why? Why would the people of 2 of our largest cities say, we're going to get one of those guys who did that? You know why they do that? Because they know that when you take an oath as a public defender, that you say, by George, you are my client. My oath is to defend you and to stand up for you. Just think about it. When a lawyer goes into court, it's not just Joe prosecutor against one lawyer. It's the 6 million people of the state. It's that state of Tennessee against one individual. Or if you're in federal court, it's 300 million plus people against one. Don't you want the kind of person who will say, the masses be damned. I am your lawyer. I represent the people. I don't get deterred by the massive thought. I am going to stand up for just those basic things: good education, good health care, safe streets, good jobs, and I don't care what price may come to me. that I'm going to fight for you. I am your advocate. You are my clients. That's what our great state is looking for. Folks who are going to come into office and say, the powers be damned, I represent the people. We got a great state. We got a great party. Bless the Democratic Party. Bless all of you. Thank you so much.